State Buckeyes, winners of 8 straight outings. They march into University Park, PA for a Sunday night showdown with Penn State. A group of Nittany Lions that are in there with us. The officials, Matt Palem, Scott McCall, and Jeffrey Hoffman. The opening draw belongs to the Nittany Lions in white. Short stick defensive midfielder Kyle Aldridge comes up with possession.
They're deep offensively, not a superstar, but just a bunch of guys that get the job done.
With a defender hung up, Garrett Haas turns and sends a one-handed shot wide of the goal. The backup belongs to the Buckeyes. The Nittany Lions come up off the turf and have possession.
An incredible ride by Kyle Lehman, number 4 in white. He, like Trainer, missed the last 2 games for Penn State.
Whistling drive there from the short stick defensive midfielder Brendan Leary, who cashed in that win over the Colonials. Mac Hobbs on the sweep from the top. Mark Dixon mentioned Matt Trainer's in the lineup, good to go. He was questionable heading into play tonight. The leading goal scorer, the second leading point producer. And then there's the fabulous freshman, Aquino, had that rejected by Faya. Another chance and tight score. Matthews on the finish.
Results in this goal. Liam Matthews, after Aquino whistles it off the pipe, Trainer picks it up, geeks the ground ball.
Wallstrom joining him. Long off of a 4-goal performance against Robert Morris. Wallstrom, the 4th leading scorer, is picked up on the perimeter. Send it up top. Amon for a long bouncer. Fyack the save. Rebound. Follow up and score. Wallstrom on the putback.
Tasty with the big body, Caleb Fyack in the last couple of games. But now he's back to his midfield position. But he is going to get the rebound, and he's going to stick it. And watch the contact.
Far this season. Offensive set 6-on-6 for the Buckeyes. Griffin Turner getting away from the long stick midfielder Ryan O'Connor. Long drive answered by Frassian. Play. Almost halfway through, just now halfway through this opening quarter. On the way down, Lehman lost that one out of his cross. Buckeyes, one of the stingiest defensive teams in the land. Home of the Nittany Lions, it's a top 10 matchup between Ohio State and Penn State. Pause on the exchange. It's Ari Allen. They bring it on around for Gannon Matthews. He'll work against Amon. Wide open look here. Fire and score! Ben Mayer.
Ohio State, Bobby Van Buren with a little bit of a trail check. And then watch Matthews going to the cage, draws the double. Meyer wide open. There is no one within a zip code of number 4 in red. And
slamming a foot to the turf, it's Garrett Haas. Switch it back. McKenna towering at 6'6". Haas rattles this one around the per game as Aquino. Another guy who is a question mark to play in this game tonight. The handoff for Peden. Gets to the alley. Lehman fires. That Whistler went wide.
You mentioned Aquino, 23 in white. I've watched him on film. This is the first time I've seen him live. He is big, 6'4", and he is bigger in person than he looks on tape.
Strong drive and put away. That's Matt Trainer. Refer to it as the heart of a competitor jersey. The late Connor Darcy. I can't believe it's been 10 years.
Yeah, very hard to believe.
Since he's passed away in an auto accident. Frassian guarding the cage for the Nittany Lions in expert fashion.
More shorties.
Here's Trainer against the shorty Island. Nick Myers told us that captain Greg Langermeyer, his top short stick D-mid was a question mark, but he's out there now. This one is slipped high and wide on the Wallstrom playing a two-man game. Island right there attached to the hip. Fall-away bouncer wide of Fayok. Fayok's improved his passing game, his clearing game much better.
To minimize this lead for Penn State.
Island carrying it at the offensive end against Ethan Long. Bouncer fought off by Frassian. In the waning, good scoop. In transition, the pass towards the crease, knocked down. Frassian gets out there to help his defenders. In the final 4 seconds, heave-ho the length of the field. And the opening frame is done at Panzer Stadium with the to get ready for not only the Big Ten Conference opener, but the entire Big Ten Conference. He says if you're not working every day against the other teams in this group, you're going to fall behind.
This is the time of year where every team in college lacrosse is banged up. They're feeling it. So to give themselves that breather in the schedule was beneficial, I think, to get them a little healthier.
Good look inside, rip and score! Wallstrom with a BB.
Together a couple really solid weeks, of lacrosse. He scored the game winner in overtime against Cornell. He had 4 goals against Robert Morris. Watch him look off the defense, and then Walsh for large comebacks. They can come back, but they're not built that way.
McGee on the go, lets it fly. That was blocked. Ball down on the end line. They joust for it, and it'll stay Buckeye possession.
Yeah, I thought that
Marinier move it quickly for Turner. All on the exterior for the Buckeyes. Change the formation again. Rotate, Turner. The pass for Marinier, deflected. Well done there by Ross. Continuing to show his brilliance at the defensive end. Unsettled to the crease, score! Garrett Haas.
at the Buckeyes get after this thing. And what Jeff Tambroni is saying is that the Penn State player, his stick was held. Number 31 in white is saying that his stick was held. Patrick, Ohio State got away with one right there. And that benefits them getting a huge goal getting back in this game.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Hey, you know, the referee's got to pick it up. They got to call it.
From the top, Matthews. Badgered there on the perimeter. Keep it hot. That pass to the interior is knocked down. Well done there by the Nittany Lions, and a turnover. Costin on the wrong.
Garrett Haas, he's behind the cage. This ball squirts out. Look at O'Leary. Look at that check. It just pops the ball out right there. Boom. And Garrett Haas, Johnny on the spot. Frassian vacate.
Distribute. Working on the outside to invert for Mayer. The midfielder going below goal line against Aldridge. Swim move from Mayer, who tallied in the opening quarter tonight. Fine pass there, and a McKenna playing a little game of one-on-one. Number one is Griffin Turner. Tangling with Ryan O'Connor, the long stick midfielder. Mayer off the roll dodge to a better shooting lane against Aldridge. Gets underneath, fires and scores. Mayer ties it at 4.
Nothing fancy. All you got to do here really is hug the pipe. This is a low-angle shot by number 4 in red, Mayer. And here you just hug the pipe, get your stick up. Don't give them anything to shoot at. You got to save big time. And you got to figure out ways to score goals in different fashions. And Ohio State's done it. They've done it off the ride. They've done it on the EMO. They've done it fortuitously, done it one-on-one dodging. And they're starting to win faceoffs as well, Joe. They've won the last 4 faceoffs.
Wallstrom looking for the first half hat trick. Getting downhill there on Foster. Skip it through. Lehman over the top. Fayak with a stop there. This one rebounds out of play. Bounce loose, and it's scooped up neatly by Cullen Brown.
A good goaltending by Fayak. It looked like a player might have been hit. Watch out.
Aquino throws a huge hit on Island. And this one just sent wide of the cage. It'll be Ohio State ball. Marinier waiting in the alley. Play it up top. Sheehan comes to get it. Turner moves it. That pass was low for Haas. Already a 2-goal scorer in this first half. 25 seconds to shoot. McKenna. Off this dodge. Feed. Fire and score! The big gunner, Marinier.
Getting the rotation, getting it to the weak side, and Marinier is just going to step in with time.
And 23 seconds to shoot.
Timing looks a little off, especially with those feeds inside, and that's not uncommon when you have two guys that have missed some time over the last couple weeks.
Trainer drawing a double there. Sends it high, and the ball belongs to the Buckeyes. On the swim. He's already got 2 today. McKenna drawing a lot of help, and it's in the cross of Frasian. Counterattack time for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, Penn State ran an inverted zone where the 2 short sticks were down low on the pipes.
Aldridge spinning back, he scores! The defensive midfielder goes very offensive.
But does a great job of rolling back, and I think he caught Caleb Fayak a little off guard. As an offensive midfielder, you think you're going to turn that thing back and then just cycle it behind the...
Gets into the alley. Sprinkles this one that's picked off. Ross anticipated it well, then he gave it up. Unsettled to the slot area. Frasian made the denial.
Wow. You want action?
Langermeyer there defensively. Against Trainer. Fayak waiting in the crease. Ball down. Out and in. They're going to give possession to Penn State.
Great job. See an incredible sequence. I mean, you had everybody jumping, slapping, doing whatever they could to prevent that shot. But what you got to love about Jack Frasian.
Greg Langermeyer on him, the short stick defensive midfield captain for the Buckeyes. They rotate around and fire. Fayak with a stop there. Trainer gets his own rebound. Hard shooting attackman.
And that worked. You know, they have the first half advantage in faceoffs 8-4. And as Coach Myers said, the more touches his offense gets, the more rhythm they can establish.
Griffin Turner has the rock for the Buckeyes. Ohio State, a mark of 8-1. They're in the scarlet and gray. Penn State here at home in the all-white. Getting underneath, score! On the run, Shane O'Leary.
And you can see that Penn State defense packing it in, but they come out of the zone. And this is an opportunity to dodge. And he just gets leverage and is able to get underneath. Comes back top side, a little bit miscommunication maybe.
Matthews on the go. Matthews working goal line extended away from Leary. One more time through the cycle. Bad angle bid off the outside of the post.
Authority. I think Frasian may have gotten a piece of that, then it kissed off that far pipe, but you can see the confidence level. That first goal was huge for the confidence level of this Ohio State Buckeye team here in the second half.
McKenna dragging Leary back behind the cage. Looking to pass over the top, beautifully done! And it's stashed home by Ryan Donnery.
Evan in the offensive zone, creates the offsides, officials pick it up. And right now, it's just disorganization for this.
Look at the offense here to start the second half. Haas will share it with Shane O'Leary, the Massachusetts native, a transfer after 4 seasons from UMass. This down under shot. There's a whistle, moving pick.
Yep, illegal screen.
Early third quarter. King digging in defensively on McKenna. Marinier looks this way for Matthews. Hesitates, fidgets loose on Leary. Here comes the help. McKenna looking over the top. Donnery fires, he scores! Ryan Donnery.
Action. And they are taking what Penn State is giving them. And what the short stick, remember the national semifinals where Penn State lost? Where they didn't have video review? Wow.
Off the split, Trainer exchanging. Amon fires again. This one's too tall and a little bit wide. Again, off the end line with Lehman and Van Buren. A marquee matchup, offense against defense there. Amon with a good catch against Langermeyer. Wallstrom on the go. Bouncer is too tall. And
win possession.
Less than 4 minutes to go in quarter number 3. A 3-1 Penn State advantage after one. We were deadlocked at 5 apiece through 2 quarters. Ohio State very sharp in this third. Giving the ball back here though. Trainer in tight, score! Matthews.
And you gotta use unsettled situations when your 6-on-6 just isn't clicking. And that's exactly what Penn State did. Unselfish, one more from Trainer, and the finish. But great job for Ohio State to win that next faceoff. But now you got Penn State all over the ball like a bunch of rabid dogs.
Sheehan came up with it for the team in the scarlet. From Columbus, Ohio, McKenna drifting below goal line extended. He's got King with him. McKenna turns, he scores! Jack McKenna.
McKenna sets up the dodge behind the cage. 6'6", pterodactyl-like arms. And he uses that length to give him what most ordinary humans. Ohio State, offensively, my question is, who's gonna step up for this Nittany Lion team? They can come back. They scored 4 goals in less than 2.5 minutes to tie Cornell.
Long zipped it way wide. Coach Tambroni says he's rare. 1979. Penn State's won the last 4 here against the Buckeyes. Buckeyes' last win in University Park came in March of 2015. Didn't get it across. Turnover back to Penn State.
Failure to advance call. They didn't get over within the 20 seconds.
Final 80 seconds of quarter 3. Closing, long, fires, he scores! A rocket.
The appropriate call. Failure to advance. And this thing leaves a fire trail. Ethan Long gotten it. Well, you have review and it's still wrong. I don't understand it.
At that time, it would have made the score 9-6 had that been ruled a goal. It's 10-7 for Ohio State. Joe Beninati, Mark Dixon with you at Panzer Stadium. Chilly night, a Sunday night matchup. Temperatures in the low 40s when we began play. Amon finds the open man, fire and score! Ripped to the top shelf by Long.
Them back because this Ohio State team is for real. Great job by Amon dragging down the near side, and then he's going to float the skip to the weak side. And I think we've seen you cannot give Ethan Long that kind of time.
Midfield groups. Will Peden, neat moves, feed it side there. Matthews in tight. Stonewalled by Fayok. And around the crease, they're going to give the ball to Penn State. Leary on the hop against Aldridge, gets inside, he scores! Shane O'Leary from time to time on that wing has been unstoppable.
You reference a transfer portal, has been ready for battle here tonight. This wing dodge that he takes on has been so effective this evening. But he got on my radar in this game with that beautiful check that led to an easy goal earlier in the game. And his dodge.
Trainer, see if he likes this matchup. Forced back a couple times by Cullen Brown. Aquino, no shooting lane. Fakes the flip, keeps it against Langermeyer. Nice cut there. Matthews Fayak had 13 saves against Notre Dame. He's done one better than that in this one for a season-high 14.
He's been terrific in the second half, this fourth quarter in particular.
Wallstrom drawing defenders. Aquino. There's another save for management now, Mark, with 7.5 to go.
They can become deliberate and judicious without being ultra-conservative, but the clock is Ohio State's friend.
Ed Sheehan tallies in 5 of his last 8. On the go. Trying to force a switch there. Pass to the inside. Score! Backside put away for Sheehan.
Sheehan's been around. He's been through the tough times of Ohio State lacrosse. And he just waits patiently for Garrett Haas to beat his man, the aggressive.
Seconds to shoot. Peden on the hop against Ari Allen. Off the curl, room, Fayak, another save. Whether you go high or low on him right now, he's seeing it extremely well.
He took the
mid. Shot clock's down to 13. Mayer with Aldridge. Here comes the double help. Shot clock violation given up.
Play with these guys.
These two squads, their first top 10 matchup for Penn State and Ohio State since April of 2019. Amon circles the net. Langermeyer waiting for him. Fayak on the intercept. The active goalie stick.
In the first half, that led to a couple of opportunities and goals for Penn State, but he has been on point and locked in, and he's always a crowd favorite. Look at him waving to his fans.
Closing in on a career best. Penn State, the lowest amount of goals they've scored in a game. Oh, this one to the cage for a layup finish there. Time in the single game this season was 10. The OT loss to Princeton.
Matthews just doing what you're told coming out of the timeout. You get doubled, the crease is vacated, the goal is vacated.
Ohio State's favor. Sharp third, and even better fourth when it mattered. Sloppiness there in the midfield. Less than a minute to go. Ross brings it ahead for Penn State. King fires, he scores! A laser from John King.
Look, this is a 5-game season for these ball clubs, all 6 of the Big Ten men's lacrosse teams, and we've seen a wild weekend. Michigan.
Off Penn State by the final of 13-9. A jubilant Caleb Fayak.
And Ohio State digs out of an early hole to take home an emphatic win back to Columbus.
Coach Myers giving his team a well-deserved round of applause. Ohio State banks a win against Penn State. Penn State had taken